know. I'm happy to see you too. Me and Laverne, we actually see each other quite often. So it's kind of strange that it's been a good minute, and it'll probably be a good minute till we see each other. Lisa, Laverne, and a lot of people were supposed to come down out to the Austin area.
Oh, I
So
know.
I know Tears, so that we could do a business and beauty academy to really teach the fields how to help implement product in salon and spas and things like that. And so, unfortunately, they won't be here, but we get to see each other like this. So, this is the next best thing.
Yeah. And we're really taking a liking to this Zoom. So it's kind of crazy because it's new for everybody, but just not being able to have that connection or that in-person touch with somebody, especially our clients, because I know that both of us haven't touched clients in quite some time. But just being able to match them with a good foundation is key. That's why you were talking about earlier that you've been custom blending over the computer, which is amazing. Color matching someone and being able to create a custom foundation for them. But we also have an array of foundations with cosmetics prepackaged that I actually fell in love with 8 years ago. I'm going to go ahead and talk about our first foundation. And I actually started using this product 8 years ago. I'm from Arizona, so it's super, super hot here. And just going outside for 5 minutes, you could start to perspire. And we all hate little lines in our foundation. Most of the time it's because it's water-based. But my favorite that I actually fell in love with is our liquid mineral foundation. Martha, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It comes in these bottles like this. It's already pre-mixed. We have about 7 different colors. And I actually loved it because I was able to use it on my brides. My brides were key. Brides, they tend to cry. We get emotional. We, like if I've been married before.
You're crying for them.
I'm crying for you guys.
Crying them because of excitement, or you're crying because like I'm so sorry that you're getting married.
Right. Either way, I know I have my minerals on while I'm doing their makeup. But for them, it was more of a foundation that I knew that was long lasting. I knew that it was going to last 8 to 12 hours or till the next morning when they wake up, because I would get crazy during weddings. But what I loved most about this product is it's a 3-in-1 foundation. Okay, so what does it mean by 3-in-1 foundation? Well, it actually has an SPF of 15 in it. So if you guys were not clear about that, we do have an SPF 15 in our mineral foundations. And it also has a primer that's inside. So that's why I loved it, because we also talked about prepping our faces before we apply, which I will, but this does have, a SPF in it plus a primer, which I love. And it hides all discoloration. It's medium to full coverage. So I know a lot of the times that when I work with somebody either on set or just a bride, they want full coverage. So this is a medium to full coverage, which is buildable. So which means you could apply one time. If it's not as full coverage as they'd like it, you could actually apply a little bit more. So that's what I loved about it. And just the micro in it, it keeps the skin looking fearless and just flawless. It's oil-free, wax-free, dye-free, talc-free, paraben-free. And those are all things that people look for in cosmetics, because we all know that sometimes those can be irritants to our skin. So just as far as having that inside the actual foundation or not having that inside the foundation is key, especially for me, or anybody that's a combination skin. We actually can actually use this on our skin because it doesn't have those oils in it. Did you want to go ahead and say something, Martha, about this?
Yeah, sure. So the liquid mineral foundation is one of my favorite like long wearing foundations. You have the people that sometimes who love to go work out in their makeup. I don't highly recommend that, but there are people who want to go looking fierce to the gym, and you want to make sure that your makeup is going to stay in place. It's not going to sweat off or anything like that, this would be a formula that you could use for that. It is a liquid to powder finish, so it's going to give you a really matte finish. If you have oily combination skin, this will be great for you. Like I said, for like she said, she uses on her brides. So do I. Just because whenever we are getting a bride ready for their big day, one of the things that we worry about is the longevity of it, right? It has to last a really long period of time, and it has to look great in photos from the morning until, you know, they're done partying at midnight. So it's really going to keep the skin matte. It's really going to give really great coverage, but whenever you take a picture of it, even though there's SPF in it, there's not going to have that flashback. You know, sometimes whenever you put a foundation that is more matte and has a little bit of SPF in it, it does cause a little bit of flashback if the ingredients in the product aren't that great. And I've worked with this particular line for over 6 years in my business. So one comment that I do get a lot from photographers is that you don't get the flashback, first of all, and there's not a lot of post editing done when the photos are finished. The other thing about this, and I just want to be very, very clear, none of our products are water resistant, and they're not waterproof. But in saying that, if you prime and prep the skin really good, you can keep that makeup on through, you know, working out, sweating, and things like that. I've done underwater photo shoots with them. Again, the prep is very important. You can't just go out tomorrow and decide to wear it and go swimming and it's going to stay. But if you know, there is a process that you can do to help keep that makeup in place if you're not going to be touching it and messing with it. So it's always a big important thing that I always tell brides, like, if you want your makeup to stay, do not touch it. Don't look at it. Don't let anybody touch it. Don't let anybody kiss you on the face. You know, if they do, kind of like pull away from them. If you're going to cry, go ahead and cry. You can cry all you want, but just let those tears roll. Let them do their thing. Let them dry down. If you happen to be able to catch that tear before it goes down, you just get a little bitty piece of tissue and stick it in that corner and let it soak it up. And that's all you do. So no touching, no patting, no rubbing, no nothing, and the longevity of the makeup stays. So Laverne, while I move on to the next foundation, do you want to go ahead and start putting putting the liquid to mineral foundation, and you could tell us more about it as you put it on?
But yeah, I'll go ahead and start to apply my foundation while you go ahead and talk about the next
We'll talk about the process and then we'll go on to the next one. That's what I meant. Sorry. I meant
the prepping.
The prepping, yeah. So prepping is important. A lot of the times people don't, that's one step that they miss. You know, they wake up in the morning, they wash their face, they're kind of in a hurry and they just want to slap the makeup on and go. But prepping is very important. It's the really one part of the makeup and the skincare that's going to make it stay. So you want to, you know, of course, always start with the toner. You know, you want to tone the face. Some of these things she's already done. So you always want to tone the face with a pH balancing toner so that whenever you put moisturizer and foundation and all those other fun things on there, the skin knows what to do with it. The next thing you want to do is you also want to make sure that you moisturize with it. It could be a moisturizer that is specific to your skin. So if you're dry or oily or combination, and if SPF is important, the foundation that she has does have an SPF in there. But if you want additional SPF, we do have moisturizers that have some nice SPF in there. And you know, little secret, don't tell anyone because I may get in trouble. I'm just kidding. I don't know if I would get in trouble or not, but we do have an SPF coming in the summer. It's it's going to be a spray. It's an SPF 50. I'm like super excited about it. You know, some of our products have been pushed off a little bit just to make room for our immune and our awesome products like that because of just, you know, what's going on. But what we're really, I'm really excited about that. But so we do have foundations that have the SPF, but we do have moisturizers that have the SPF as well. So, and then afterwards you would prime. So
Right.
we have two types of primers. Do you use one or two? Do you use both of them or just one of them?
I usually just use one because I like to use the liquid minerals. So it kind of has it already in there. So I usually just use the Complexion Perfection Primer.
Nice. So this Complexion Perfection Primer, what it's going to do is going to take the texture of the skin from an orange to an apple. So whenever you put this on, it's really going to smooth out the surface of the skin. So whenever you put foundation on, it looks a lot better. It's like laying way better than that. But we also do have, for those little extra places where you need, I call it spackle. It's not called spackle. It's called Insta Smooth, but I call it spackle because it kind of fills in those little extra crevices that need a little bit of extra TLC. For me, I have to use both of them. I am more on the oily side and I do have larger pores here. And so I have to, this is good, but these two together is even better. So I've put this on just in this area in like little circular motions. So you're putting, what color do you use?
I'm not using a color yet. It's actually just primer. I'm just using it with the foundation brush and kind of just evenly spreading it out. And then usually I'll always have my makeup wipes with me, just constantly washing my hands, even if it's my own face. And then I just take my 2 fingers and I just gently rub in the primer and make sure that I get it everywhere, especially in the creases of my nose. I tend to get a little bit drier in this area. So I like to really rub the primer in this area and right underneath my eyes, even though it's not, why am I going blank on the spackle? Not the spackle. But besides that product for fine lines and wrinkles, I still like to use my primer and put it right underneath my eyes, even though I don't feel like I have that many wrinkles or creases under there. But I like to just gently press it in until I feel like it's completely dry, because it is a nice, silky, smooth texture. So if you use a lot, you're going to still feel it. It's very, very minimal when you're using it, probably just like a dime size or less. So just really just gently rub it into the skin. So, and that's really what I do to prime. So I usually use, you didn't talk about this, obviously, because this is part of our skincare, but I usually put a little dab of our elixir on, and then I apply the moisturizer, and then I apply the primer. So you're really, really setting it up. Like you're setting your face up for greatness.
That's awesome. And you know what? I do it opposite. I put my moisturizer on and then the
oil on
the
top,
primer, and then the Insta Smooth and then the oil on top.
See, and I mean, everybody's different.
Yeah, everybody's different. So I think that's cool that you do it one way and then, you know, I do it a different way as well.
Yeah, and I usually at night before I go to bed, I love to use the elixir as well. So I feel like putting the elixir on and then the moisture on top of it, it just kind of just sucks it up. So that's why I love it.
Awesome. Well, it looks great on the skin. Looks so nice.
So I am going to, you did ask what color I'm going to be using in the minerals. So I am currently right now, I'm going to be using an almond. So it's almond color in the minerals. But as the, weather heats up here in Arizona, I know I'm going to get a little bit darker, probably like 4 or 5 shades darker. So that's when my custom blend's going to be great. Or I could actually just move on to the next step, which is a little bit deeper. So that's what I love about these foundations.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna prep while you do too. That way, while I'm prepping and you're putting your almond foundation on, I'll start talking about the one that I use. So
perfect.
Mine is in the same kind of container. It looks like the same kind of container as hers. It is one of those little tubes. I love these, because you can squeeze every little ounce, as you can tell, out of it. I do use this every once in a while as well. So you can get every ounce out. But this one is an illuminating foundation. So it's not going to be a matte finish. It's going to be more dewy. It's going to give you more of like that little inner glow. This one is also long wear. This is buildable coverage. You can get medium to full, just depending on what it is that you're looking for and what you want to achieve. This one also is long wearing. Again, if you want somebody who wants to go work out in their makeup, or works outside and they want to look dolled up, or is a person who sweats a lot, either of these formulas are really good for the longevity and the staying power of it. But I always use the illuminating foundation in toffee. Excuse me, I talked.
Okay.
I'm like, I can't even talk still. I'm hoarse. So over the weekend, Laverne and I are both motives trainers. And right now we get to train a lot of, do a lot of our trainings online. So over the weekend, there are people who wanted to take the trainings but work during the week. So some of our trainings are anywhere from 4 to 6 hours long. And I taught all three of them in 2 days. So one day was like 6 hours of talking, and yesterday was a little bit over 8 hours. So if I
Wow.
get a little in my
That's
brain,
why I have some kiwi strawberry aloe right here.
I should make Ava make me some in our matching cups. So I might get fumbled up and I might, lose a thought here and there, but trust me, I know my stuff. No, just kidding. The illuminating foundation, the color I use is toffee. Toffee right now is a little, just a hair too dark for me, but the shade below it is just a hair too light. But my face is lighter than my neck, so it really actually kind of evens out and it looks fine. So I really like this foundation here. So I've already sprayed my face with the Skin Intelligence. This one also has like the primer in it. This one does not have the SPF though. So the liquid to matte powder foundation does have that SPF in it, but the illuminating does not. And the illuminating is going to give you more of a powder. I mean, a illuminating dewy finish, and then the liquid to powder foundation is going to give you more of a matte finish.
Right. And so since that one doesn't currently have have an SPF in it, you would actually use an SPF during the prepping process, correct?
Yes, you can. You definitely can.
Yeah.
All mineral products, most minerals have a very natural SPF, usually around a 6. So unless you're going to be like baking in the sun, going in and out, you should be okay. But yeah, if you get tanned easily, if you burn easily, if you're sensitive to the sun, you definitely can add an additional SPF in your moisturizer, or after the moisturizer. You can do either or. Me particularly, I am allergic to the sun. So like you will go out and get darker. I don't really get darker because I always have SPF on from head to toe. Even if I'm only going to be outside for 10 minutes, I break out in a full rash, like from,
Wow.
so I don't really partake in the sun very much. That is probably like the most ever time you'll hear me complain, is if I'm out in the sun for too long, because I can already feel like how it starts getting itchy. So for
Yeah.
me, SPF is important. So I do have SPF, and I do always add an extra SPF. But right now I'm not going to, because I'm not going to be outside. So I'm just going to go straight with my moisturizer and then my primers.
Right. And for us, I mean, the sun's always beaming here in Arizona. So, and I'm
Yeah.
sure in other parts of the world. Um, but yeah, I usually put on an SPF prior to the foundation, even so, because I know that I'm gonna, no matter what, be in contact with the sun here in Arizona. Even my
Yeah.
arm, even our arms, our arms and our hands, we're always exposing them to sun and light. So even putting it on our skin is key.
Yeah, it's very important there. And this illuminating one is another one that I use whenever I do weddings and photo shoots like that. Whenever I have a lot of people, I don't necessarily use custom blend. Custom blend is another form of foundation that we have, just because we don't have time. Like
Right.
it's hard for me to really customize a foundation for the client. Now, I will do it prior. So if I have a bride and she wants it in her package, I'll custom create her foundation and powder prior. And if she wants it airbrushed, I'll take a portion of the one that we custom made for her and I'll airbrush it and use it. But if the client is more on the dry skin and is wanting a nice little glow, I will use the illuminating on set, or for weddings and brides and things like that. So if you do have a drier skin tone, drier skins lack luster. They lack, the hydration, they lack the moisture, and getting that little, J-Lo dewy glow is really important. They're like, hey, I need all the highlighter, I need all the bronzing with the little shimmer in it, you know. That's how somebody with a drier skin likes. Yeah. And then somebody with an oilier skin, they like to look matte, because if they see
Right.
anything shiny, they think oil slick, grease, oil. So those are some things. I am going to put my spackle on because of my pores. I have very large pores around my nose and my cheeks, and I put them on in a circular motion. She used a brush, and here I am. I use fingers when it comes to this
It
stuff.
depends. I mean, I'm different. Some days I'll use my fingers and some days I'll use my brushes. For the most part, I use my brushes.
Yeah.
But I know that everybody's different. And especially when it comes to our own skin, I mean, there's really no rules. We're not telling you you have to use a brush and you can't use your own fingers. But when it comes to our clients, obviously we are using brushes.
Well,
Well,
going forward, we don't know what we're going to be using. Did you see the video I posted? I do massage too. We probably should have told you a little bit about ourselves, but we didn't.
right.
So I do massage, and today I posted a video of like, hey, if you want a massage for me in the future, this is what it's gonna look like. I'm like, it's all masks and using a what is that, a paint roller and a rake, you know.
Oh my gosh.
All
I
right,
mean,
so
it's an unfortunate situation that the whole entire world is in. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But we're always finding solutions to things. And when it comes to this business, this Zoom right now is a solution for us because we are able to reach millions of people all over the world and just share kind of what me and Martha know about the products, you know, since we've been using them for so long. And we are both makeup artists. She said earlier, we didn't even tell you about ourselves.
Yeah, so why don't you go ahead and tell them about yourself, Laverne,
Yeah,
while
I
I
will.
put some foundation on.
And I did actually already put my foundation on. So you can see it's already on. I put it on with a brush and then I actually took one of our beauty blenders and I blended it out. And I'm not moving the sponge around. I'm just actually pressing it into the skin and kind of buffing it around and making sure that it's even. So
And I do it different.
we both have different techniques, but that's why there's no rules to makeup.
Right,
Seriously.
exactly. There isn't.
Right. So I actually have been a licensed esthetician and makeup artist for over 17 years. I was licensed when I was 19 years old, and I've just been in the beauty industry ever since. But when I was 23, I actually got into a really bad car accident and I broke my arm and I lost all my clientele. So I knew, you know, 7, 8 years ago how it felt to not be able to work, you know, and to lose all my clientele. So I knew quickly that I had to figure something out. I needed to come up with a plan B or something. And honestly, Motives Cosmetics just fell in my lap. I was looking for a line that I could brand myself with. I found Motives Cosmetics. I found this foundation. And I've just been with the company ever since, really just using it as a tool and an asset to my already existing beauty business. And now I was able to bring the counter to my clients. I no longer had to send them somewhere else. I was able to actually bring them to my own Motives Cosmetics counter and really just brand myself in that way. So this has just been a completely blessing to me because we're still able to reach all of our clients. We're still able to educate them through Zoom, and we're still able to sell through e-commerce. Like it was like a no-brainer when I first saw this business. And now with the times that we're in, now's the time for you guys to utilize the Zooms, really connect with your clients over the Zooms and share with them and educate them on the products that we have, because they are able to just be drop shipped. You guys don't even have to touch them. And it just makes sense right now with everything that's going on.
Yep, you're making some great points.
Right. And so, I mean, that's what basically, like I said, I've been in the beauty industry for 17 years. And I love it. I love doing what I do. It's actually hard right now that we can't do clients. In December, I was actually out in Austin because Martha had to go to Miami,
Mhm.
and she had to do a meeting out in Miami, and she wasn't able to take her clients. So I actually flew to Austin and did clients for her. But she knew that I would take care of them because I was using Motives Cosmetics. I was using the same things that she had. So she really trusted me in taking, care of her clients. And that's what I love about this business is we're able to actually work together and help one another and really leverage each other. Like, who wouldn't want to leverage another beauty professional that's just as amazing,
Right.
And that's what I loved about
So
Martha.
I appreciated she came out here, but I did put her to work. She probably did. I don't even know how many faces in like 3 days. She was like, "Oh my God."
I don't know. I did 13 that first day.
Yeah. I'm like, "Hey, so how many can you do in 30 minutes?" I mean, how many
I'm like, what? I usually take 45 minutes for one, but if
I'm
I have
like,
to speed it
"Well,
up, I will.
I'm like, you need to speed it up, girl, because you got 13 faces. We're gonna get you there early." And but she did a great job. Everybody loved it. Everybody was happy. They loved the product that she used, and they loved the service that she received. But it was really important for me to, you know, give it to somebody who I trust, first of all, and second of all, that uses a product that I know is going to do the job,
Right.
and it's going to have the longevity. I don't have to really worry about it. And this was a client who was kind of important to me. I was like I was sick to my stomach when I had to tell her like I couldn't do her wedding. Luckily, we're pretty close, so it was fine. And she didn't think too much of a big deal of it because she's in the industry as I like I am too. So she understands that sometimes things just pop up that
Right.
you gotta choose one or the other. But I've left her with really good hands.
This
So
this Stephanie says, war paint, Martha. Awesome job.
yes, so I am from Texas. I am about to be 40, so I don't know if y'all know who Tammy Faye Baker is, but she used to be this evangelist years and years ago, and she used to wear makeup like her eyelashes looked like spider legs, and her makeup was like 10 layers deep. So
Yep.
that's kind of who I grew up seeing. I don't remember ever listening to her evangelistic stuff, but I just remember seeing her all around the world all the time, and it was like my makeup needs to look like that. So, yeah. So some people out there know who Tammy Faye Baker is, which is kind of funny. So I like a lot of coverage. So I also wanted to show y'all that I did apply a good amount, but look, I mean,
Yeah.
it's flawless, first of all. Second of all, it's not cakey. It's not, it doesn't look like I have 10 pounds of makeup on. I did bounce it out with the beauty blender because I like these little blenders. We have one. We have these, we have all kinds of them, but this beauty blender really picks up the excess foundation, but it really presses it into the skin really nicely. I like to press my foundation in again because I have a lot of pores and things like that. So sometimes a brush, I can't really get it to get into those little holes that
Right.
I have. So,
Especially
um,
around the nose. You can really get in
right here.
around the nose.
And then I crease. Again, I'm oily, so I do crease under here. So it's really good for me to really press it in right here under this area here. And then I do set it a little bit with one of our little banana powders that I really love.
Yes.
So
Oh
this
my
is that the one you have? And
God. Yep.
I don't bake it in. I think Laverne bakes it in. Um, what I do is I just put a little bit on a small round brush. I'm only put so like right in through here, and I just kind of set it softly like that, and around my nose because this girl.
Stephanie, it took me, I think I had 6 hours only to do 13.
Yeah, she didn't have very much time.
And okay, so get this. I was so, because I'm not from Austin and the wedding is 45 minutes away. So I got up extra early to be there on time, like a professional. Well, I got the times mixed up and I ended up actually being there like 2 hours earlier. So on top of getting up and being there way earlier, then I had to do girls for 6 hours.
Yeah. So she's the real MVP that day. And me, I'm like, girl, I do that all the time. This year, actually, I didn't take very many weddings. What's a banana powder used for? So this banana powder is a little bit yellow, more yellow in tone. I am a yellow skin tone. Laverne's a little yellow skin tone as well. So this is just a translucent setting powder. But some of the lighter powders are too, even though they're translucent, if they're too white, even though they're translucent powder, they don't have no color to it. It does leave a little bit too much of a white area for me personally. So,
Yeah.
and it's because I'm so yellow. I have a lot of yellow in my skin. My hair is purple, so it does cancel a little bit of the yellow of my skin out. But under certain lights, I do look like mustard. So that's what a banana powder is used for. It'll lighten and brighten right underneath the eyes for somebody who has a skin tone like ours. But we do have a lighter color.
Right. And
So those,
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, so just like Martha said, it's just a way to set powder, especially with the minerals that I just use. They actually almost dry like a powder, so it's
Mm-hmm.
very nice to just be able to just dust either the translucent powders or the banana powders right over it and just set it. Someone like me, I like to bake it underneath the eyes and underneath the chin area just to make that area pop a little bit. I haven't yet put any contour on, but just setting it is just amazing with these powders. I mean, there, we have many different colors, like she said, but
Right.
it's
And
just
somebody's
something that I use
asking
all the time.
color correcting. Yes, you can color correct. You know, if you have areas that maybe are a little bit deeper and just throwing a foundation or just a concealer on is not enough, you definitely can color correct. We do have color correctors as well. And they're like greens and peaches and yellows, and they all come in one little thing. And then
Right.
we do have like a darker peach and a darker yellow for darker skin as well. So yeah, you can definitely color correct first if you need to. Not every single person needs to color correct. I do have darker circles around the eyes, but like right now, I could probably use a concealer to maybe conceal under the area if I really wanted to, but I don't really feel like I even need it. But you know, if there was days that maybe I didn't sleep and they were really dark, yeah, you could put a color corrector on. But we do have other foundations we want to talk about. So we have talked about custom blend a couple of times. You
Right.
know, you can customize it down to finish, texture, color, skin type. It does have skincare properties in it, so that does have peptides in it. We can make it your foundation color match correctly, perfectly. It's going to be really awesome. I love custom blend. Here's mine. Where's mine? My daughter moved it. Oh no, it's right here. Here's my custom blend. This was custom created for me. So this one is also full coverage. This one has mattifying properties in there because I am oily, but it does have a little pearl because I do like a little bit of inner glow in it. This one does have sunscreen in it for me as well. And then this custom foundation for me has the copper peptide in it. So it's going to help with the elastin and the collagen in the skin. It does have a soy protein that's going to help with the firming. It does have hydrator in it. So what hydrator does is gives your skin a big drink of water. And then it also has oil control in it because I am oily in parts. It's going to soak up a percentage of the oil that we're producing. So whenever my skin feels like it's dehydrated, it gives it a drink. If it's producing too much oil, it absorbs it. It'll give me that natural dewy glow. That mattifier will also give me a little bit of a matte finish. Has the sunscreen, is full coverage, and it matches perfectly. Like there ain't no line, nothing at all. And the coverage is awesome. I don't even use an extra concealer with that either. That is custom blend. Right now, we can customize you via Zoom. So whoever invited you on, if custom blend is the foundation that intrigues you, you know, let them know. If the liquid to powder mineral foundation with the SPF is the one that intrigues you, let them know. They know where they can get that at for you. If you like the illuminating, long wearing, dewy J-Lo glow, this one does not have SPF in it, but let them know that this is the one that you like. And then we have one other one you want to talk about. Which one are you going to talk
Yeah.
about next?
So I got the motives for Lala. So we have motives for Lala. These are liquid foundations. It's very hydrating. It's silky smooth foundation. I actually have the three colors here on my wrist. So we have three different colors in the golden, caramel, and deep in the Lala. So that's an extension of our foundations into a little bit of the deeper tones. But they're buildable coverage, sheer to full. So if you just want a sheer finish, you could just use one application. If you want it full, you obviously use a couple different applications. It's an all-day wear, so you could wear it all day. And it doesn't look chalky, which is what I love, because I do have clients that are a little bit deeper skin toned that I use all the time on. And that's the first thing that they always say is, oh my gosh, it doesn't look chalky. I love it. It just melts right into my skin. And then, like I said, it comes in three different shades. So don't forget that we do have the Motives for Lala foundations, which I absolutely love and I use all the time on clients.
Right.
So.
And like she said, some people comment about the finish, the way that it looks. It is very creamy, and it just makes the darker skin look so beautiful. It does not leave it too matte. It doesn't leave it too powdery looking. It doesn't leave that ashy color. Actually, I've done weddings where a makeup artist who has worked with me next to me and uses a different product has commented on, how is it they look so creamy and beautiful?
Right.
And she's like, and my girl looks like dead and ashy. And I was like, well, we need to talk. And so, actually,
Because it ain't Motives for Lala.
Because it ain't Motives for Lala. So actually, she is now one of my business partners here in the Austin area. She does carry it now. But that's what it sold her, really, was the way that it looked up against the makeup that she was doing. We were both doing a darker skin tone, and she was pretty floored. And it's a lot of, we have the same skill. We're really good makeup artists, but yeah, sometimes it has a lot to do with the product that you're using. So it's yeah, we don't like ashy for sure. Ashy and dead ain't for me either. I had one time I had a custom blend, and they put too much blue in it. And I was like, oh, I look real dead. Y'all took all the life out of me.
And another thing with these Lalas, I don't know if you remember, we actually did a photo shoot in Austin, and your bride was an Indian bride.
Yep.
And you actually used the Motives for Lala on her, and it matched perfect. Like,
yes.
We'll have to repost some pictures of that.
Yeah, we'll post some pictures, because she looked so gorgeous and just like creamy and glowy.
It was awesome.
Yeah, so we also have another foundation that is a pre-made foundation. This one's going to be for more drier skin. She doesn't have one, and I don't have one. Why, I don't know. I used to have one, but I don't have one with me.
Yeah.
But it's called the Super Cream. It is a cream formula. It comes in a little compact, and it's a cream formula. So you use like a little sponge to put it on, and it could be sheer to full coverage. And but it doesn't dry down matte. Okay, so it's always going to stay kind of like dewy. It's going to always stay kind of creamy. So that is really good for a drier skin tone. Because sometimes if you were to put the liquid mineral powder, liquid to powder foundation on a drier skin tone, it might feel too deserty for them, because it is a matte finish. So if they want something full coverage, something dewy, and it's not the illuminating, we do have one. Like I said, it's the Super Cream, and it comes, I believe, in only 3 colors. I think it's light, medium, and dark, or something like that. But those are really nice. Whenever I've taken trainings, I've had trainers have them as well, and I've tried them on. For me, they were just too dewy. I'm super oily, super greasy. So for drier skin, they are very beautiful. So how we're talking about Lala looks the Motives for Lala foundation looks really creamy and beautiful on a darker skin tone. That's how kind of the Super Cream looks like as well. It doesn't dry down like real matte or drying at all. It's just like,
and it has antioxidants in it for that mature skin, so it's gonna create that luminous look. And it also is very lightweight. That's what I love about all of our foundations. All of our foundations, no matter what, when you put them on, it almost feels like you don't have anything on. And I think that that's one of the most complimenting things that my clients tell me, because they don't want to feel like they have anything on, but they want to look like they're full coverage. So that's one thing about all of our foundations is they're very lightweight and they're buildable, which is what I love. So
Right.
yes, so we talked about the motives for Lala foundations. We talked about our Supreme creams that we have. We also talked about custom blend, liquid minerals, and our luminous. So that's 5 different prepackaged foundations. Well, not the custom blend, but 4 prepackaged foundations, including our custom blends that you guys all have to choose from. Which
Right. So, well, let me tell y'all another little secret. I'm just like the secret dropper.
secret
I'm
girl.
the secret. I'm gonna be in trouble. They're gonna yell at me. No, I'm just kidding. I think I have permission to tell y'all. But in June, we have been waiting patiently for this foundation to drop.
Right.
This is a cream foundation that comes in a stick. They are so pretty. The finish is gorgeous. They go on real creamy and smooth. We got to mess with them whenever we were in Miami. They're such a beautiful finish. The cool thing is you can buy the cream sticks in for a concealer, a highlighter if you need it, contour, the foundation itself. So you can pick and choose the colors that you want. They're all in the stick formula. And you can build that formula too. It could be more of a medium all the way to a full coverage. And I'm so excited about them. I can't wait for them to get here. I believe they hit drop in June. Don't quote me on that. I wish we had them so I could show them to you, because the formula is just so, it's like creamy and rich and beautiful, without looking or feeling heavy or, at all. It's just got a really beautiful finish. Look at Laverne. She's over there contouring. Good
It's
God.
because I look like 2 rounds because
Okay,
my
so
skin's so even with the foundation. So we set it up perfect to start to contour. Obviously, this is not a makeup 101 lesson, but we have a surprise for our lips at the end. So we just wanted to like
yeah. So somebody said they feel velvety, the foundation sticks. Yes, they do. They feel real velvety.
And then they also asked about the banana powder because they said on the website it looks pretty dark. It's actually not dark.
It's not dark.
It comes out probably looking a little deeper in the on the website. But if you do have an olive or yellow undertones, this is gonna melt perfectly into your skin. Yeah, it's my light's pretty bright, but it's not really that dark. So
yeah, so those cream stick formulas.
Try it out. If it doesn't work for you, you could always divvy it up and give it out as samples to people that do have yellow undertones. The same thing with the foundations, guys. If you guys are, because we don't have samples, so I make my own samples. I actually buy the Motives little jars. I've sent all the 3 different Lala colors to many people on the East Coast just via mail. And I just put the 3 different color foundations in there for enough for one application. So they can try all 3 colors, and then that way it makes it easier for them to color match themselves, because I can't color match them where I'm at. So definitely leveraging the sampling is great to really get customer base going.
Somebody asked me if I sprayed Skintelligence on the palette. No. So prior to what's going on in the world, I am very particular about sanitation. Even though this is my palette, I don't let anybody use these palettes. This is my palette. I don't let anybody touch it. I don't take this with me on location. This is what I usually use if we're, for product display and stuff, but this is mine. But I still spray it with alcohol. I'm very germophobic. That is one thing. If you are ever in my house and you come to eat, it's just habit. I will tell you to wash your hands before you sit at my table.
She's not lying.
So I spray everything, and 70% alcohol. I know 70% alcohol right now is really hard to find, but 70% and nothing higher is the best to keep all of your products safe and sanitary. Powders are already naturally antibacterial, but again, I just am who I am. But it's a good thing because my kit is always clean and ready to go. So, well, I didn't really tell y'all much about myself. Just know that I've been in the beauty industry for about 20 years. I was initially introduced to motives through custom blending. It was a product that I really wanted to have in my salon, and a service that was exclusive and like no one else's. But shortly after really implementing custom blend into my business, I really learned about the business behind it. And when I learned about the business behind it, what spoke to me was that you could create an income that is ongoing, that's going to be able to pay you today and into the future. So at that time, my husband worked for Intel, the computer chip company. Well, actually, he still works for Intel, the computer chip company, but he had made it through 5 layoffs at the time.
Wow.
So whenever I was looking at the business at convention, I was like, oh my gosh, we should really start focusing on building that business up as well, not just focusing on the custom blend in the event he's ever laid off. Well, haha, joke's on me. His job inadvertently fired me from being the boss of my own salon in Albuquerque, New Mexico. My salon did really, really awesome. I mean, I lived there, I made a significant income, and a drop of a hat like this, it was gone. And the blood, sweat, and tears that I put into it, it was pretty devastating. But what I didn't realize until I actually sat down and looked at finances, right? Well, this entire time I was building my custom blend in my business, because 6 months into it, I was like, man, I need a backup plan. Well, little did I know that the ongoing income that I was creating whenever I was building the business and building my salon and selling the custom blend was the one that was going to actually sustain me from whenever we left Albuquerque, New Mexico, and now we're in Austin. So that was almost 4 years ago. I don't work for anyone. I work from home. This is my little setup. This was one of the requirements that I had. I was able to keep my salon open for about a year and a half after I left. So I ran it remotely. So the girls there still got to do their thing. So that was a blessing as well. But now I just kind of do my thing at home. This is my full-time business. My business is called The Root of Beauty. That's the other awesome thing about Motives and MarketAmericanShop.com is I still get to be who I am. I am
Right.
Martha, the Root of Beauty. I do massage, I do facials, I do hair, I do makeup. But I get to use the tools that they provide for me in skincare and the makeup and the nutraceuticals to provide for my clients.
Right.
Now, when I did leave Albuquerque, New Mexico, the one thing I was able to retain were all of my custom blend clients, all of my skincare clients, and all my clients who purchase nutraceuticals from me. So till this day, I have clients that still purchase product from me. Now it sucks that I can't give them a massage. They do that with other people and facials with other people, but we're still connected. But we got about 5 minutes, and
And
we.
you even retained your business partners that stayed there.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
even though they stayed living there and you moved, you
Hmm.
still were able to leverage your own efforts because you had them as partners, even if they stayed in New Mexico, which is what I love because it doesn't matter where you are
Right.
in the world, you can partner with us. And that's what I
Right.
love the
Yeah.
most.
And that is so true. And we have business partners all over the place, and we get to build together, share together, and we get to provide an awesome product and service to our clients. Laverne is blushed by Laverne,
Brushed by Laverne.
brushed by
That's what I
Laverne.
brand myself.
And then, I brand myself with the Root of Beauty. But we've been dropping secrets the whole time. We got about 4 minutes because we are going to have another presentation after this.
Yep.
So tomorrow,
Who's ready for tomorrow? Does anybody know what tomorrow is?
it's a big day besides Cinco de Mayo, drinking margaritas on Zoom with your
Right.
friends. So who out there knows who Thalia is, right? Thalia, the hot Latina from Mexico. She's a singer, songwriter. She writes books. I mean, she does it all.
And
She's,
if you were at convention, you saw her on stage.
yeah, she's a very bubbly
Spicy one.
presence. So show us what you got.
So I got this little bad boy right here. And I'm just going to just give you a sneak peek of what it looks like. And it's so velvety and creamy and oh gosh, it just.
And notice I'm not using a lip liner. I'm just going for it.
With the little doe foot though, applicator, you really don't need a lip liner. It just
No, you don't.
So yes, so this drops tomorrow, guys. 5/5 at 5 p.m. You guys are gonna be able to order this Thalia Lippy.
I always do this
called
corner
Red
here.
Velvet.
That way, if you're laughing, you don't have like a weird gap. Look at that.
Ooh, it's so pretty.
I'm trying to do this in the
Oh,
camera.
and it smells like cupcakes, so don't eat it.
Yeah, it does. It's so smelly. And
Yeah, it's one of my new summer favorites. Don't forget, it drops tomorrow, guys. So let all your clients, customers know. And then the palette is going to be coming right after. So
awesome. So thank you for spending your evening with us. If you are an unfranchised owner, if this is your university, your division, and you need to know, all the details about the products of the different foundations that we carry, the pre-made ones, in your back office, we do have a thing. It's called a product chart. It's
right.
really beautiful. It'll tell you every single thing in there. It'll give you all the details, who it's good for. If it has SPF, it's a primer, if it's buildable coverage. So that's a great tool to use. If you are a guest and there was something that we spoke about that you really love and you want for yourself, reach out to the person who invited you. They can get it for you. They can hook you up and order it and ship it to your house. Right now, we can't see people in person, and they can do a lot of this stuff via Zoom. So,
Right.
Laverne, it was so great to see you. I always love seeing you with you. Lisa, I love seeing your little face, your little picture.
I told her I did my hair just like her today. So I was channeling my inner Lisa Martin.
Y'all are like twins. Yeah, I washed mine, so that's a that's a big
my
feat.
dad's probably happy that I washed my hair.
Yeah.
He's like, did you wash your hair today? I'm like,
yeah, no, I go a long time without
quarantine.
washing it. So I washed it for you. I put makeup on for you. So this is a big day. And if you have questions, let us know. You can reach out to us. My name is Martha Tello Rosser.
And I'm Laverne Castillo.
Laverne Castillo. You can find us on Facebook, or you can reach back out to the person who invited you. So thank y'all. Y'all have a great night. And
bye, guys. We love you.